let's jump in.
All right.
Sydney, thank you for joining us today.
Of course.
Appreciate you sitting down with us. And so me and Ryan, we've been recording these podcasts for well over a year now, 2 years, and we're over at Ryan's house 10, 11, 12 o'clock at night. And I'm like, who is this person playing music?
That would be me.
So, and you've released some singles. You're going back and forth to Nashville. Before we jump into that fun stuff, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and what you're up to?
Mm-hmm. Well, I was born and raised here. I've actually always lived right next to him. He just moved in, but yeah, I've been making a ruckus in the neighborhood, I guess.
Awesome.
Hopefully not too loud, but yeah, it's been really cool just what I've been up to in Nashville. And I'm primarily a country Southern rock singer-songwriter, and it's just been really cool being a recording artist in Nashville. It's been a really different experience, and yeah, it's been super cool. So
I'm just going to dive right in on this.
Yeah.
You're from Duluth, Minnesota.
Mm-hmm.
Why did you gravitate towards country and Southern rock?
Yeah, I mean, I've gone to Bayfront Festival Park, obviously, just growing up and listening to different country music, and I've been going to different venues just since I was little, and I just always loved country music. I feel like even if you're in the north, like there's always some country there. I feel like we're kind of a country place. Like there's always like lots of people who love country music around here, and I think going to Nashville, it's just a whole different world, and I love bringing my northern self down there. I think it's people think I'm unique kind of because I have a northern accent, so they're like, they definitely know right away.
Yeah.
And
Right.
they think it's kind of cool just that I'm doing that down there like that. So, yeah.
People always confuse you for being Canadian.
Yeah, they definitely do that too. Yeah, for sure.
So did you start off singing first or playing guitar first? Or
I started singing when I was 6. I just was singing along to the radio, and actually my babysitter had been taking singing lessons, and she noticed that I liked it, so her and my mom were talking about it, and she put me in lessons, and so I started off with that. I just did recitals and stuff, just normal kid stuff, but I realized that I really liked it, and I knew that I would want to be doing that for as long as possible. And then I started guitar when I was 10, which was great, and I had a passion for that too. I'm primarily a singer for sure. Like I can definitely play the guitar, but it's not like I can't shred the guitar, you know. I'm not
yet.
a shredder kind of guitarist, but it's just great to have that accompany me while I'm doing my stuff. It's just a lot easier. And
guitar is hard to learn.
It is,
and like 10 years old, you were playing that. That's
I just learned the basics, and now I'm with Jimmy Cooper, and he's great. He like transcribes different stuff that I want to learn, like different covers. It makes it a lot easier for me to learn them. So that's really nice. And then songwriting came shortly after that. I started doing that when I was like 13, and took off from there. So
So when did you realize that like music could actually be a thing for you?
I noticed that, I think I was at Wuso's. I don't know if you guys know where that is. It's in West Duluth. It's like a cafe.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
And there was like a singing competition, like a songwriter competition. And I was doing that. And it was my first time ever singing any original in front of anyone. And I was super nervous because I was like, this is really vulnerable. Like, It's just kind of scary to do for the first time, especially being so young. But I got the audience choice thing for that night, and that just gave me a lot of motivation just as a young songwriter, just to keep writing and knowing that I was doing something good that people enjoyed. So.
And how old were you?
13.
13.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
That's really interesting what you just said too, because we were talking about this last night off the podcast, like stage fright and just being 13 and like a lot of people probably want to do what you're doing, but they don't because of stage fright. Or we had a different podcast on like sales reluctancy of like, I want to do this, but I'm scared. Like, can you talk about how, and maybe you don't know if you struggle with it and you just deal with it because you practice it, but how do you, deal with that?
I definitely still deal with it sometimes. Like, it just depends on the audience, like if they're engaging with you, because sometimes it's hard when you're kind of in the background, like that people aren't really listening, so it's kind of awkward in a way. But otherwise, I don't know. My nervous tick, like when I'm nervous, is yawning. I don't know why, but I just start yawning. So if anyone sees me doing that, it means I'm nervous.
Just on stage?
Yeah, pretty much. I just like, not on stage usually.
Yeah.
Sometimes I can just like, I just kind of, I don't know. I get myself together before I go on stage, but definitely beforehand, I do still get some nerves, but I just kind of push it down as much as possible. But yeah.
Well, it's refreshing to hear from some people that might be listening right now too. Like, oh, well, Sydney's doing that, and she's still like, she has her own ways of dealing with it, and I
think if you have nerves, like it's normal. Like it's kind of bad to not have nerves in a way because I don't know. I just think of it like that, but I don't know.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
What's the biggest crowd you've performed in front of thus far?
Well, definitely, I played at Bayfront a lot, actually.
Okay.
I've been fortunate to play there for different festivals, especially in the summertime. Obviously, in the summertime, because we obviously can't do
Duluth,
that
Minnesota.
in winter. But yeah, in the summertime, I played lots of festivals, and I don't know what the crowd was. I think my biggest crowd was on the 4th of July. It was a few thousand people, and it was really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
awesome.
let's get you opening for Jake Owen
Yeah, right.
this summer.
I would
He's
love
coming.
that. Yeah.
We should all
That'd
go.
be really cool.
Yeah.
I'm definitely going to be going no
Yeah.
matter what. So, yeah.
So what's it like right now? Like, I know you're going to school, right? You're taking general eds or
Yeah, I'm doing online stuff so I can travel. But
yeah. So what is that like? Like right now with how young you are and just, I was telling Matt, like you're jamming in the house and you're performing here and then you're in Nashville and then you're releasing singles and then you're back here. Like what's it all like right now?
it's a lot. Right now I'm just doing my generals online, so it's been kind of easy, but at the same time, online is really hard because obviously I'm trying to mix around my schedule so I can fit everything in. So it kind of gets to procrastination a little. But yeah, I just have been balancing it out as much as possible, and sometimes it can be a lot. In Nashville, I had a show, and on the way home, I was like taking a quiz that was due like within the next hour. So it's hard to balance it for sure, but I've been doing it. So
Yeah.
yeah.
That's cool to hear. That's the stuff you don't really hear a lot about, or even like professional athletes or college athletes, right? You see them on TV all the time, and they still have to take their tests. They still have to.
It's weird, but
Yeah.
yeah.
So for somebody in your position who's, young, still trying to make it, going to school, traveling, what would you say like your normal schedule looks like during not the summer?
Yeah. I don't know. I just I wake up, I do music every single day. I practice for shows, like my whole set list almost every day just to get it down, and I fit in time for writing a lot, as much as possible, really. And I don't know, I just try to squeeze everything in. It's not easy for sure.
How often are you going back and forth between Duluth and Nashville?
I've been going back and forth like every other month, which has been a lot.
Wow.
It's definitely expensive. So we're actually considering getting an apartment or something just because it is expensive. But I'll be taking a break, probably going to Nashville for a little bit, unless I'm doing shows there. I just finished a 15-song project, so I have all those songs kind of in the bank for releasing.
Awesome.
So, yeah,
Congrats.
so I'll be going back for sure, just to perform and stuff, and to continue co-writing, which is really cool too. But yeah.
So how did you going to Nashville happen? Like, I guess maybe the process of you getting recognized and like maybe the community embracing you, to just start with like you being consistent, and then did somebody hear you and then you went out there, or you're like, you know what?
I've
going.
always been interested in going to Nashville. Like, obviously it's like a dream to be performing there. It's been really cool. But my manager, Paula Ann, I met her through Facebook because I just noticed she was working with all these different artists, and she seemed like she was really helping them. So I got a hold of her, and I tagged her in one of my videos, and she really likes me. So she became my manager, and then she introduced me to Kent Wells, which is like my biggest blessing because he is, I don't know, he's helped me with so many different things, and he's produced all my songs, and he works with Dolly Parton. He's the producer for her and music director and guitarist, and has been for like 30 years. So it's really cool. Like we were performing together, me and him and his band in Nashville at Third and Lindsay. And after that, he was at the ACM Awards, like playing next to Dolly. So it's just really crazy to see. Yeah, it's really crazy to see that. Like he's just a genuine person too. So it's great to have someone to take me under their wing and kind of guide me through the music industry and help me out like that. So
that's cool to hear like that connections there too. Not
It's
just
all
like,
about
oh, here's somebody that can help me, but it's like a true connection that genuinely cares and wants to see you success.
Yeah, that means a lot for sure. Just to have someone that knows what they're doing, but also can be very kind. And because it's hard to find some people in the music industry like that, because you never know, like, I don't know, it's probably bad to say, but I don't know, it's weird. Like a lot of people, you don't know who they are in the music industry because it's all about business, and sometimes they aren't looking out for you, they're looking out for their business. So it's great to find someone like that.
Yeah.
So when you're in Nashville working with Kent, what is his role primarily? Like, so you're writing your own songs, and you bring those down, and you're like, here's my idea. Is he then producing the beat, the band, putting the band together? Like, how does this sound?
Yeah. So basically, I write my own songs, but I also co-write. So I do like half and half pretty much. That's what's consisting of that in my 15-song project. It's like half and half. So I write my own, and then I kind of, in the beginning, I just showed him what I had been working on because he hadn't heard any of my stuff, because obviously I'd only released Fallen, so he didn't really have much to go off of. But I showed him all my stuff, and he really liked it. So I'm glad that he took a liking in it, because obviously I can give him money to like produce my songs, but it's important for me to have him like it, and he has shown that he has really liked what I'm doing. And yeah, I co-write too, so those songs are in there. Bill DiLuigi is one of my favorite people to co-write with down there. We just have similar writing styles. It's really weird. Like, and he has like deep meanings, and I really love that about him. And yeah, Kent takes that from there, and we pretty much already have the chord progressions. Like we have pretty much the rough song down, but then we do pre-production, so we just chart everything out for the musicians, and then we go into a session with all these really cool session musicians. It's been so cool to be alongside people who have played on like famous records. Like it's really weird, but they're super cool, and they just make the song kind of come to life. Like I wrote a song in my bedroom, and it's like really rough, and then it turns into something that I didn't even know could be so perfect. Like it turns into something that is exactly what I would have wanted. So it's really cool.
That's amazing.
Art, yeah.
Yeah, it's super cool.
What's the inspiration behind your music and your style?
I've had a little heartbreak, even though I'm young. So of course that, but especially being in Minnesota, just writing about summertime and being with friends and stuff, it's great to write about that. And I don't know, just some hard topics. I wrote a song called Lonesome at Heart that's going to be coming out fairly soon. And it's just about feeling lost and not really knowing where you belong. So there's songs like that too. Like I try to write about a lot of different stuff.
What about like, who did you look up to growing up, or maybe even right now? Who would you, I don't say compare yourself to, but your current style of a musician?
I listen to so many genres. Like I really spread myself just because I get inspired by lyrics and music no matter what genre it is, really. But I would say my influences are Bonnie Raitt, Stevie Nicks, Janis Joplin, of course. I love Miley Cyrus and her new rock era. I think her covers and everything that she's been putting out are really cool. And Chris Stapleton is one of my favorite country artists. I really love doing his songs for covers, and he's really cool. So those are the people that have kind of inspired me.
Cool. What can you talk about just your family support and just how important that's been for you and your success right now?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely wouldn't be where I am without them. They provided time and effort just as much as I have, really, because they've sat with me through practices all the time. Like, they're very involved, which I really appreciate, and they've helped me pursue that career in Nashville. They brought me down there. They come with me every trip. They just are amazing. And my grandparents actually just flew out to watch some shows down there, which was really cool because they have never been down there before. So it was nice to show them around. But yeah, I've had just so much support from family and friends, and different local people down here, just from promoters, have really supported me. And then being down in Nashville, I've gotten a lot of support too, just having welcoming crowds, and it's been great.
What would you say the hardest part about being a musician is right now?
The hardest part, I don't know. That's a great question. I mean, everything has been pretty great for me. It's been a pretty smooth road. I would say just learning about how to deal with being a leader in a band, actually. Like, it's just hard to be, for me, the manager of a band. I don't know how to explain it, but it's hard to, especially people like your own age, like, it's hard to tell them how to be, like, or I don't know how to describe it. It's hard to describe, but
well, I mean, that makes sense, right? Anytime you're in a position, especially around your peers, and you're stepping in, if you're not with those people all the time, to be like, nope, that doesn't sound right. You need to adjust.
Right.
And
I'm just not
play it like this.
confrontational at all. So it's like super hard. That's just something about me that's really hard. And it's hard to be honest with people in the music industry, because it's like, music is an art, and they're doing their thing. And I don't know, but music is music. Like, every music is great, I think. And
I'm super.
I'll go for it.
I'm super excited. Just throwing this out into the universe. In like 5 years, when you've made it big, and we get together, we can talk about how you're a boss.
I mean, I would love to come back if I'm famous. I don't know. I have high hopes for myself, but who knows?
You keep plugging away. You never know who you're going to meet, or who's going to see you. Like, we had a podcast last week, and he said he replied to, he's a fitness coach, Jordan Syatt, and he said he was just starting off, and he replied to one comment, and because he replied to that one comment on some like post that just didn't get a lot of reach, didn't do well, like, that person knew somebody huge.
That's
crazy. Like where he is today. He's like, dude, I replied to that one comment, and like, here I am. He's got like 1 million followers, and like whatever. He's doing really well. And I was like, all because he came to reply to that one comment. Or
it's a lot about connections, I would say too.
Yeah.
Like, everyone that I've met, every promoter that has helped me get different shows here, like, they've all helped me get more known, and connections definitely matter. Yeah.
So we talked about kind of your hardest thing about being a musician. What would you say is the best part about being in the music industry?
The best part is probably just having people relate to what I'm putting out. I just love when I can put out a song that I really feel in my heart, and then having people really relate to it. That's probably the best part, in my opinion. And just when I'm performing, just to have an engaging audience, like, really you can tell they're interested in what I'm saying and what I'm doing. It's just a great feeling to have an audience in the palm of your hand.
You've talked a lot about feelings right there. Can you talk about how music makes you feel and why you do it?
Yeah, I do it because it's always been an outlet for me. Like, since I was little, it's just been something that I've been super passionate about, and that I could go to whenever I needed it. And I just immersed myself in it for a very young age. And I think that's what you need to do if you want to go for something that you're passionate about. You just have to immerse yourself in it. And obviously, I'm still going to college, so I'm kind of balancing everything out. But for the most part, like, I've just put myself in it. I don't know, like, in a way, when I was younger, like, I didn't do everything that my friends were doing. I stayed home, and I was focusing on my music, which was kind of hard for me as a kid, just in a way, but also so rewarding, because I know that pushed me to where I am today.
I love that's such a strong point. So right there is, your friends are out there hanging out, they're at the bonfire, they're doing whatever, and like how hard it is to,
like, of course I've hung out with friends, and I've taken time to do that, but I haven't been able to do everything that my friends have been able to. And yeah, but it's definitely been rewarding
Yeah.
to get to where I am
Those
now.
kind of short-term sacrifices
Right.
for the long-term success, for sure.
Yeah.
Stole your line there. I knew you were going to say that.
Yeah, I was. I'm going to jump back to your songwriting and your upcoming project. So you have 15 songs in your project that's going to come out. I guess my question is from the songwriting aspect, how many songs would you say you had to write to get down to 15?
Yeah, I've written so many songs that will probably never be seen. Like, it's crazy. I always am writing no matter what it is. And I think it's good to write everything down because even if it sucks, like sometimes I go back and I'm reading what I've wrote like years ago and I'm like, this was actually really good and I hated it. I hated it like not that long ago. But yeah, I've written many, many songs, but those 15 are really good and I'm very proud of them and they're going to be great. I think I'm really excited to put them out. Yeah.
So are you typing them or are you freehanding it?
I freehand.
So we just have a stack of notebooks.
I had an
Pretty
image in my
much.
head. I'm glad you asked that because I was thinking the same thing.
I have a few notebooks of that, but yeah. Or I just write them down on my phone. Like I have notes in my phone, just different song ideas. Like that's all what's in my notes on my phone.
Yeah.
Just different ideas and different, I don't know. Yeah.
When it comes to you, write it down.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Who have you met in Nashville? Who do you want to meet?
I want to meet Dolly, obviously. She was in the studio the week that I was, and I was like, this is my moment. Like, I'm going to meet her, but it didn't happen, sadly.
Shoot.
But I feel like it might someday just because he works so closely with her, and
Yeah.
that would be obviously awesome. Like,
Yeah,
I would
heck
love
yeah.
to meet her, and she's so good at songwriting. I would just watch a documentary on her, and it's crazy to know how many songs she's written, like thousands and thousands. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah.
So she
Yeah.
would definitely be cool to meet. And yeah, I've just missed everyone in Nashville. Like at different bars downtown, like I've been there and then the next day they're there when I'm not there. It's just,
Yeah.
they stop at their own place that they own. Like
Sure.
obviously it's that strip of
Like
different
Luke
places.
Bryan has a bar.
Honky Tonk Boulevard.
Yeah. And like Kid Rock goes there all the time and I love his bar. We go there all the time, me and my parents. But he's always there when I'm not there. So I have
Shoot.
yet to meet
It's
them.
going to happen.
It's going to happen.
But I'm hoping that it will. Yeah.
So you had mentioned you're also going to college right now
Mm-hmm.
and juggling that with music. So hypothetically,
Mm-hmm.
if music doesn't take off or you don't hit the level you want to,
Mm-hmm.
what do you aspire to do from an educational standpoint?
Mm-hmm.
If that
I
makes
have
sense.
thought of doing something with music, and I don't know still if I will do that. Obviously, I'm inclined more so to do that, but if I'm going to do anything else, I've thought of speech therapy, just helping people with speech impediments, just because I think that's a really great thing. And also psychology, I've always been interested in just growing up. So those are my two kind of ideas if I don't take off anytime soon. But yeah, I'm just doing my generals right now. I have nothing set for sure. So
Okay.
still thinking about it.
Yeah, no, that's
Yeah.
that's great. And I kind of figured you would try to like stay around the music realm. So that brings me to my next question
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
is Duluth. It's not a huge music town, obviously.
Yeah, right.
Do you have any ambitions to leave Duluth and live in Nashville full time?
Yeah, I've thought about it, but I honestly love living here. I don't know. The cold is the one thing I don't like. It's like the freezing cold is not great, but
Yeah.
I love living here. I mean, I've seen enough of the music scene where it's been influential, so I think it's great to live here and be able to experience that. Like I've focused more on places that have music venues and I love going there, especially in the summertime. I feel like music more comes out, but in the winter it's like almost impossible unless it's an indoor show. Yeah, I mean, I've definitely thought of moving down to Nashville. It's a great place. It's very beautiful. Music is obviously everywhere, literally walking everywhere you hear music.
Yeah.
It's just, it's great. So yeah, I've definitely thought about it.
Okay.
Kelsey Ballerini can do a concert in her backyard doing the Country Music Awards.
Right.
You can put something on
Exactly.
Duluth.
Yeah.
I was going to say
It
our
can
neighborhood,
work.
but I won't put that out there.
Yeah, right. It can work.
So every time you're on stage, you're inspiring people, and I know sometimes it's like hard to like think that wide when you're up there playing. But like, what would you say your superpower is of like what makes you successful? It might be in music or just like everyday life, talking to people. Like,
I think just talking to people, and I think helping people with my music, because I know I've heard feedback from people that has been really amazing to hear, like that I have helped them with my music. And I don't know, just at different shows I play my originals, so obviously they aren't out right now, but the feedback that I've gotten from the ones that are going to come out, like people have been inspired by what I'm doing, and I think that's like a superpower in a way, just because
Totally.
it's hard to inspire people sometimes, because I don't know, it's difficult to do that with your own, what you're doing with yourself in a way. I don't know.
probably like the confidence and the motivation that like that probably gives you to keep pushing forward and like keep making music and like, right, I am like reaching people.
Right. It means a lot to have that. It definitely does motivate me to keep writing and keep pushing myself. So.
Yeah. Nice. What would you say, and you kind of mentioned it a little bit ago, but for our listeners that want to be a musician or just like follow their passion, whatever that might be, what would be your one piece of advice, maybe that you did when you were 13 that went on stage to like just push them over that edge, like go for your passion?
Yeah. I mean, like I said before a little, just to immerse yourself in it, because obviously you can go as far as you want with your passion. Like you don't have to, if say you're a musician, you don't have to become famous to pursue your passion. There's so many different jobs. Like if you want to be a songwriter, you can write songs for people. Like you don't have to go all the way. But I would say if you want to get as far as you can with your passion, just immerse yourself in it. And then you'll know how far you want to go with what you're doing. It depends on what your goals are. And yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
Bonus question for me.
Okay.
So I don't know how much you're able to disclose or share with us.
Yeah.
But your project that's coming up, 15 songs. Can you give us an idea of what we can expect? Like party, heartbreak, a little bit of both. Where are we going?
It's everything. Like there's stuff that I've written like to my younger self, like kind of reflecting on my experiences now and going back, and like there's a song that's like reflecting on myself and telling myself to slow down time a little bit. That's one of my songs. But yeah, heartbreak. There's some sassy songs in there. There's some sad songs in there. It's just kind of a mix of everything. But yeah, it's like country, southern rock is primarily what it sounds like. Some that are more country, some that are more on the rock side. But yeah, kind of a mix of everything.
Nice.
And we've talked about you being young. How would you share how old you are?
19, almost 19, May 15th. So I just
Let's
say
go.
19.
And
Anybody can do it.
I mean, how flippin' awesome that you're 19, you're traveling, you're making your dream happen. Like, how excited are you and proud of yourself?
Yeah, I mean, I never thought that I would be working with Dolly Parton's producer. Like, it's just crazy to think back to where I used to be. And I think my younger self will be proud to see where I am today.
Hell yes.
Yeah, it's just been, the experiences that I've had so far are just amazing. I couldn't have asked for more, so.
So your singles that are out now and the ones that are coming out, where can people stream you? How can they find you?
On all streaming platforms right now, my Somebody's Nobody release is on there, and Fallen, my other older song. That's on any streaming platform as Sydney Hansen Music or Sydney Hansen Official. That's what I'm on as all social medias too, so.
All right.
Yeah.
Awesome. No, this was great. I just think it's super cool to kind of your path and like pursuing your dream, and you're there.
Well, thank you guys for having me on here. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
It's great to tell my story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
That's a wrap.